Hello everyone and welcome. We're going to be looking into a story today about how a lady, by using the power of her unconscious mind, the power that all of us possess, she was able to get her husband back, a husband that left her, a husband that left her for someone else. A husband that left her for someone else and married the third party. She got him back in just a couple of months using the power of her mind, using the power of her unconscious. And this story is something I've wanted to read out to you guys for the longest time. It comes from Genevieve Behrend's book. Now, Genevieve Behrend is not so well known. She is actually before Neville Goddard's time as well, and teaches about the law in her own magical, mystical way. If you haven't come across her works, I do recommend it. But for some reason, every PDF that I was coming across where I just wanted that section, I just wanted that chapter, do you think I could find it? It's like they took the story out. They took this story out, and I don't know if it's because of the era, the time. Were they a bit afraid? Did it sound like mind control? Remember, manifesting a specific person is not mind control. There is no control involved. Like I've said before in my videos, you do not control them. And some people, like I say, there's some insanity. I could not be more clear about this. You don't control people. That's why you do not control every action and behavior. That's why you can't predict every single thing they do every single second of every single day. You don't control them. What you do is you influence people. The power of your unconscious, the one source that we all share, we're all influenced by each other's manifestations. It feels like we have freedom of will in it, but really we're all being moved to help each other's manifestations. And so he's moved, unbeknownst to him, to come back begging for forgiveness, knowing that he's made an absolute mistake. And I know a lot of you are in similar predicaments, or maybe you're just in a predicament whereby it feels like your 3D circumstances are a bit too much, those obstacles are too hefty to get through. Then this story is for you. It's hopefully going to give you a bit of a boost. I'm feeling a bit more giddy today. I've had like a really stressful week because poor little Bean really went through it at the vets, and he had a little operation on his mouth with his teethies, didn't you, baby? And he was a little bit worse for wear, but he's doing much better. He's got his little harness on, the ready, because Joseph's going to take you out for a little walk, aren't you? So he just wanted to say hey to everyone. What's Daddy doing? Go on then, go for your walkies, go on. So thank you all of you for your well wishes and your prayers. And I'm really excited too, because I just heard from another client of mine. I have put out really strong intentions, as you know, for all of you to get success. This channel is the Academy of Success, and you're all going to get it. And my clients have been messaging me with all sorts of updates, and I had one today that really excited me. You know who you are, hun. She's very kindly going to share her story with us. Not today, it wasn't ready in time, because she just told me about what's been happening today, but she is currently, perhaps as we speak, recording a voice note for me on WhatsApp and stuff for me to play to you guys. So I'll play that next week, because her story is so similar to what happened between Joseph and I and how we got together in the situation. It is incredible, and so many of you have been manifesting that way since watching Joseph and I's video. You've all been manifesting your ideal partner or an ideal version of your specific partner. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm a bit more excitable, because I love hearing all of your good news. All of you are doing really, really well, even if you feel like you're not. Trust me, you've all had success. Every single one of you has had success with manifesting money or health or wealth or your SP in the first place, or relationships. Every single one of you watching, no one is exempt. Even the people who are skeptical about the law, you're not exempt either. All of you have had success with it. You just perhaps didn't realize at the time what was happening. So share your success, because I've dedicated, a big portion of my website. A link is in the description box below, by the way, if you want to see more incredible success stories, if you want me for coaching, support, or anything like that. All the links are in the description box, but go to my website. There's an array of all sorts of incredible stories that I haven't had the chance to share on my channel, and I don't know if I will get to share all of them, but I am posting them up for all of you to have a voice, to be seen, to be heard, because you deserve to revel in your success. And people who have shared their success with me have said to me how it's made them feel for their manifestations going forward. It is very important. That's why I'm doing this, to stick you guys in a success mindset. Do you get me? Are you finally getting it? So sit back and relax, because I was wondering, actually, I haven't really prepared this. I'm like really strapped for time today. So I think what I'm going to do is, I might read maybe half of the chapter. It's only short, but I'm just going to read sort of maybe the beginning bit that then takes us into the story of what happened. Again, it's only short too, but then we're going to discuss a little bit afterwards about what's actually happened here, translate it for you to see, and then start putting it to use, guys, or just use this as your little motivational boost. I'm Athena Raven, by the way. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach. Yes, one of those rare breeds that combines psychology with manifestation. And that's why I get so many of you to change your mindset so easily and effortlessly, because we're working in harmony with the ego mind. Let's not fight our ego mind. Let's not fight the fact that we're having intrusive thoughts, we're having bad days. So what? Good. Let's have those bad days. Let's spiral, get it out of our system, because only then do you grow. Only then do you succeed. So let's go into this story, shall we? So this is chapter 2. So like I said, this is from Genevieve Behrend's book. And I think it's called Your Invisible Power, if any of you want to read it. And chapter 2 is how to attract to yourself the things that you desire. The power within you, which enables you to form a thought picture, is the starting point of all there is. In its original state, it is the undifferentiated, formless substance of life. Your thought picture makes the model, so to say, into which this formless substance takes shape. Visualizing or mentally seeing things and their conditions as you wish to see them is the condensing, the specializing power in which you might be illustrated by comparison with the lens of the magic lantern, which is one of the best symbols of imaging faculty. It illustrates the idea of working on the creative spirit in the plane of initiative and selection, or in its concentrated specializing form in a remarkably clear manner. So this is about essentially like having your vision, and she refers to like a lantern, the light. The light is the faith, the conviction in our vision. So the picture slide illustrates your own mental picture, invisible in the lantern of your mind until you turn the light of your will. I like to liken this, by the way, to, there are many mansions, there are many states, there are infinite possibilities all in existence now. And what you're doing with your awareness, with your imagination, is you're turning the light on. That's what manifestation is. It's like bringing to light, lighting up something that exists just in the ether at the moment, and I'm bringing it to my awareness as a possibility, right? When I turn the light on it, turn the light on for it. So the invisible lantern of your mind until you turn the light of your will. So that is to say, you light up your desire with absolute faith that the creative spirit of life in you is doing the work. By the steady flow of light, of the will of the spirit, your desired picture is projected on the screen of the physical world, an exact reproduction of the pictured slide in your mind. Now, a woman came to me for help to cause her husband to return to her. She said she was very unhappy and lonely without him and longed to be reunited. I told her she could not lose love and protection because both belonged to her. She asked what she should do to get her husband back again. I told her to follow the great power of intuition and think of her husband as perfectly free and the embodiment of all that a husband should be. She went away quite happy, but she returned in a few days to tell me that her husband desired a divorce in order to marry again. She was quite agitated and had evidently relaxed her will in following the instructions given at the former interview. Again, I told her to hold constantly in her mind the loving protection of the spirit of life would guide her in her perfect happiness. A month later, she came again and she said that her husband had married the other woman. This time she had completely lost her mental grip. Sounds familiar, huh? This is like majority of us when 3D is like, no, no, no. She lost her mental grip, the poor lady. I repeated the words for her as before, and she regained her poise. 2 months later, she came back to me full of joy. Her husband had come to her, begging her forgiveness and telling her what a terrible mistake he had made. He could not be happy without her. They are now living happily together, and she at least learned the necessity of holding her pictured desire steadily in place by the use of her will. Visualizing without a will sufficiently steady to inhibit every thought and feeling contrary to your pictured thought would be as useless as a magic lantern without the light. On the other hand, if your will is sufficiently developed to hold your picture in thought and feeling without any ifs, simply realizing that your thought is the great attracting power, then your mental picture is as certain to be projected upon your physical world as the picture slide put in the magic lantern shows on the screen. Try projecting the picture in a magic lantern with a light that is constantly shifting from one side to the other, and you will produce the effect of uncertain will. It is as necessary that you should always have back of your picture a strong, steady will, as it is to have a strong, steady light of a picture slide. The joyous reassurance with which you make your picture is the very powerful magnet of faith, and nothing can obliterate it. You are happier than you ever were because you have learned that you have learned to know where your source of supply is, and you rely upon its never-ending response to the direction that you give it. All said and done, happiness is the one thing which every human wants. And the study of visualization enables you to get more out of life than you ever enjoyed before, increasing possibilities. Keep opening out more and more before you. And now she goes into another success story, which is related to something else, but I'm not going to read out the whole thing. I just wanted to read out that specific one because I know that a lot of you are manifesting love or specific people, and a lot of you are manifesting various other things too. And this is relevant no matter what you are manifesting. But if you are facing obstacles that seem to be impossible, if people are acting and reacting a certain way that you weren't expecting, I mean, did you see? Again, because, some people were wondering if it was contradictory to say people have no free will in your reality. But you know what? We don't control them. We don't control their actions. This is such a simple thing to understand. This is the reason why people will do things and say things and react in certain ways that you do not expect, like your SP or your boss or your family member. We can't predict what everyone is going to do from one moment to the next. They have their own lives. They have their own wills. In my reality, I decide how I want to see them. Just like in hers, she decided how she wanted to see her husband. Free. Free and as a husband should be, all of the qualities and the attributes that she wanted in her husband. That's how she chose to see him. That's what she stayed true to. That's the mental picture, the magic lantern with the light behind it, the light, the faith, the intuition, the knowing that is projecting onto this lantern, causing this picture. We all have a picture in our mind, even those of you who say that you have aphantasia. That's a sort of a thing that is usually self-diagnosed. Everyone can imagine, and even if you can't picture it, it doesn't matter. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can touch it. We have other facets to our imagination. There is no excuse to not be able to do this. We all can. It's just sometimes we just need to train ourselves that little bit more just to get used to how it feels. Step into that a few more times. You see, this woman wavered, this woman spiraled. 3D circumstances were telling her no. And her husband was still going off and marrying the other woman because he has his own will. There are other things that play here. She couldn't control what her husband was doing, but she certainly could influence the outcome. And the outcome was to see him a certain way and to stick to that no matter what. That's what I did with my very first SP, who was with the third party, like I say, on drugs, just in a really bad way. And I persisted in my vision of him, what I saw, what I felt, what I knew intuitively, no matter what. Was it easy? No. I didn't do it as quick as a couple of months. As some of you know, that took a year all in. And then even when he came back, it took longer than that for the full conformity to happen, for him to be completely off drugs, for him to completely turn his life around. You know, that was a process that took a few stages of events, but I persisted in that vision no matter what, and he had to do it in his own special way, and it still meant that I got exactly what I wanted at the end of it, having him even reflect some of the things that I wanted to hear him reflect. But that's not control. That is just influencing the outcome. You will get the outcome, but you do not control them. So don't worry if you're feeling derailed because your SP said something you weren't expecting. Don't worry if they've told you they don't love you anymore, they love someone else, they've committed to someone else. It just goes to show that no matter what, if your mental picture is strong enough, or your mental vision or your mental imaginal act, if it's hearing, seeing, touching, tasting, if it's strong enough, if you stay true to that faith, no matter what, intuitively knowing that your higher self has got your back, your higher self is taking care of the details, okay? I know that the way that Genevieve talks about it here as well makes it sound like you can't have any ifs or buts or doubts. You've got to be 100% on it, 100% in the vision of it. Impossible. Impossible. We've learnt that since. And don't forget, she's like, I think, early 1900s as well. So we might find it a little bit difficult to perhaps relate to all of the vernacular. But essentially, your dominant dwelling place, if you're dominantly in that state, that's okay. If you've got some doubts and some ifs and some buts and you spiral, that's okay too. You can always go back to the truth of your vision, like this woman did. She still got her outcome, even though she spiraled a couple of times, even though things just seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse, from divorce to then meeting someone else to then him marrying someone else. And of course, it's a completely different era to now. And I know everyone's got their opinions and their morals, and oh no, they've broken up a marriage with the third party and stuff. Morals are man-made. You know, we all have our desires. We want what we want. And the truth of the matter is, with the law, you can have what it is that you desire. But the reason why some people achieve it and some people don't is that level of conviction, that ability to stay true to your higher self, to your vision, no matter what. And this is a great book, like I say, for those of you who are interested. Do take the time to read it. You might find it quite inspiring. And I've been looking everywhere for that particular story because, like I say, they keep on extracting it. I think they were probably scared at the time. That's why I say, please, have a voice, because you've all got success stories. We're not going to be silenced. We're going to share these miracles. There's a lot of stories actually that clients have shared with me that they're too afraid to come forward with because they think that they're not going to be believed because the stories are so out there, like incredible health miracles. I mean, you guys have seen it. I have seen it myself. I've seen it where there was shaman chanting around a woman, and you could see in real time the tumor that this woman had, I think in her bladder or something, it was just shrinking in real time. You see, you're going to have skeptics all over. You are going to have that. But the polarity of life, you're also going to have people who are awake, people like you guys on this channel. The Success Academy of Success, all of you are getting success because you know this stuff is possible. You know it to be true intuitively. You know there's something so much more than this illusion that we're living in at the moment with its limitations. You know there's something so much more than what society and school and other people are teaching you. You know it. You know this. That's why you're here. That's why you're all getting success. That's why you've all been getting success. Every single one of you is a success already. Do not doubt that. Do not forget who you are. Okay? Okay? It's my Friday wish fulfilled pep talk. How was that? I love you guys. You are all so awesome. Thank you for spending the time to share your success. Like I say, it puts you in a success mindset. Do you want to get in a success mindset? Comment below with your successes. Email it through to me if your success story is long and you would like me to share it on my website or on Wish Fulfilled Friday. I don't care if you've coached with me before or not. That's not what this is about. This is about accumulating as many successes, broad topics, doesn't have to be SP, anything. I want to hear your incredible successes and miracles, because there's a pattern to all of this. And the more that we break down the pattern and see how this works, you are going to be unstoppable. Imagine if you can just manifest anything and everything you ever wanted. That's how unstoppable and how incredible you are. Yes, that's what we want in our lives, right? Myself included, you know, because even I still waver and have my doubts. I have my human moments, guys. I am just like the rest of you. But I love you all and I appreciate you taking the time and spending these Fridays with me. Go and enjoy your weekend as a successful manifester. And I'll see you all in the next video.